Hey guys, Tom Collins, 8FigureBusiness.com. Another video training for you. Today is on back-end marketing. So the number one thing people ask me is they go, Tom, you were at PMI, you did all that back-end marketing behind all these leads. Can you help me with the back-end? You know, what's your secret? How did you guys do it? And what did you do? And how does that apply? And it's all kinds of questions. So what I want to do is I want to give you a really kind of a structural format that we used at PMI. Every time we brought in a new lead source, we would sit down and we would map out kind of the flow of the back end. Some of the pieces were the same thing every time, but every time we did this formula, things were a little bit different. It helped with the creative process. Hopefully what this will do is help you with your creative process in deciding, okay, how do I add a back end, or how do I add more back end or different back end to my sales funnel or to my value chain. So first thing, what we did is we always used the same kind of three-step structure and said, okay, how are we going to get leads? Right? Where do the leads come from? How do we get them? What quality are they? What quantity are they? All those decisions. Next thing is, what's our core offer? What's the main thing that we want these customers to buy? And the question, and so I'm going to go ahead and throw this out there. When you talk about your core offer, what's the main product you want to sell? At PMI, our core offer was coaching, but for most people, their core offer was their front end, and coaching, when we offered it, was their back end. So I hope not to confuse too much of that. But what's your core offer? What do you want? What do you want people to buy all the time? If you have a $10,000 training course that lasts a full year, or as a 3-day weekend or whatever, can you just get people to come right through the door and buy that, or do you need to do some lead generation first to that? And most people have to do some lead generation for that. Very few people can do it directly. So then, once you've sold the core offer, what's next? What's on the back end of that? And I'm here to tell you, having an effective and very specifically focused back end can be hugely, hugely profitable. We're going to talk about this a lot, this model, leads, core offer, back end, a lot in these video trainings. So first thing, obviously everybody needs to know, and most of you know this, but you just got to reemphasize it all the time, is you have to have a hot lead magnet. What's the hottest, most current thing? That's why it's very important to stay on the cutting edge of what are people buying now that's hot? What's the current trend in your industry? What's the new little widgety thing that you want people to either buy or get as a free report or use as your freemium? What is that hot new thing where you can get the right type of customer and the right kind of volume of customers for you? So next thing, typically when you provide your core offer, you're really solving a problem, right? What's the main problem that you solve? So we'll fill that out as problem here, right? The main problem when we would sell, I'll get into that in a second. So what's the main problem you solve? And then finally, once you solve that problem, ask this question: what's next? What's next for your customer? What's next that you can offer them? What's next that they want to buy? What's just the next thing they're going to do as a result of you solving their problem with your core offer? There's always something next. We always improve, or we always move on, or we always kind of go back to our daily life. So let's go through this. So at PMI, Dean Graziosi sold a real estate book, right? Our core offer, we wanted to sell real estate coaching for $2,000 or $5,000 or $10,000, depending on the offer. But it's really hard to just walk up to somebody or put an ad on TV and go, hey, buy our coaching. It doesn't quite work that way. So Dean wrote this New York Times bestseller real estate book, $20 for the book, advertised it heavily on TV, and a lot of people said, you know what, real estate might be for me. Let me check that out, right? Are all these people ready or thinking about buying coaching right now? No. They were thinking, let me check out Dean's techniques in real estate. That might work for me. Well, our core offer, Dean's back end, was a coaching offer. A couple weeks later, after they had the book for a little while, we'd call and say, hey, you have Dean's real estate book, you're probably checking things out. We're looking to help kind of a small percentage of people with a really intensive training program. Are you interested? And a certain percentage of those people would buy. And what we would do is we would solve a lot of the problems in the sense of people would say, well, gosh, where am I going to find the money? Where am I going to find the properties? How am I going to really learn this? Can I just learn it out of a book, or can I get someone to help me? We solved all of those problems by saying, of course, a coach is going to help you identify, figure you out, determine what your capacity is, blah, 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 blah. But we solved their problem and provided a coach for them. Well, what was interesting is there really was a what's next for that person. They would come and they'd say, well, gosh, I have really bad credit. What should I do about my credit? And so we'd help them get credit repair. And eventually we found partners who, we could get a little spiff for referring that person to get their credit repaired. All in the process of helping them, and there were others. We'd help them find foreclosure databases. We would help them go get the money. And these are all the things that these people naturally did as a result of our coaching. And so these became a really nice back end. The last thing, of course, is, Dean built a nice, healthy customer list of book buyers and of coaching buyers. And of course, every now and then you see Dean do a product launch or he has an event, and those make for really nice back ends. Right? Continues to go as long as he feeds the lead funnel. The other example I want to give you, you guys who know me, you're going to love this. So in the fitness space, right? Buff it up. Guys are selling a front end ebook, Truth About Abs, Fat Burning Furnace, right? There's all kinds of them. There's one that I'm missing. Sorry. Anyway, they sell a nice little ebook. They upsell a couple things. The core offer is that ebook, right? Or it's an upsell training, a little low ticket training. But then the back end is a little bit different. There's not a lot of people selling high ticket coaching, high ticket boot camps. There are a few, but in most of these models, typically what happens is there are supplements, there are other types of offers, right, that solve different problems. The Truth About Abs is all about, you think when you go into it, it's all about abs. Well, next thing you know, you're going, gosh, I want to do triathlons, and you buy the triathlon training. Gosh, I want to, streamline whatever it is about your blood chemistry, and there's a blood chemistry type of offer, and I'm just coming up with the best I can come up with. But, or I really want to work on my heart health, so I'm going to buy the heart health supplement, or I want to do the omega-3 type of offer. Well, all of these offers on the back end obviously make a difference. The question is, with back-end marketing is, do you do these yourself, or do you outsource to affiliate partners on all of those what's next back ends? And really, what are your people buying anyway? So if you're doing dog shampooing, for example, what are your people buying for those dogs anyway? And can you put those in your retail store? Can you provide a back-end service or a premium upsell where you say, hey, if you want, we'll come to you, and that's a back end, or we'll give you an annual membership and we'll shampoo your dog as many times as you like. Sell them, obviously, a really nice, fancy $5,000 house that goes out in the backyard with heating and air conditioning and automatic food dispensers. And what can you do for your back end? I know that all sounds crazy, but what is your current core offer audience interested in buying? What do they want to buy? What do they want next after you've solved their current problem? And that's the kind of questioning that you ask yourself. And of course, you can look for clues, right? Go look in your niche at all the crazy things people are selling. Follow other people's sales funnels. It'll give you ideas. And the easiest way to do is always start out and just, make affiliate or joint venture relationships with those people and say, hey, if I offer your product to my lists, that's how that's done. But those of you who are in niches where there's not a lot of email lists, it's actually a lot easier than you think. And something you definitely should do. But ask your people, if you're a dog shampooer, if you're whatever, what do they do for their dog? What are all the things they do? Get them talking about that, and they'll give you the clues. They'll give you the hints of exactly what they'll buy from you next, and you can just add that to your repertoire, and you'd be surprised how much more money it makes you. So anyway, that's number one on this. We're going to come back to this one quite a few times in the future and give specific examples. But back-end marketing, add it to your business. You got to have a back end. We'll talk to you soon.